Morning Update Wednesday, Paul Lindman and Scott Lynn. We continue our visits today with the top three candidates in a very crowded field of people who want to be mayor of the city of Portland. Joining us live, Jefferson Smith. He's a two-term state legislator, founder of a widely known political movement, the Bus Project here in Oregon. And Jefferson, good morning to you. You were also on the cover of Willamette Week this week, and the title says Bus Boy. What do you think about that?
I haven't read the story yet, so I guess, somebody talking about me is good news, I guess.
And you got the cover. It's a good picture, I might add. But you are in a crowded field of 23 candidates. You're trailing Charlie Hales and Eileen Brady right now. Is it your goal to get into the two-person race in the general, or what's the thinking?
Yeah, obviously the hope is to become mayor and run and win. And, yeah, I think it's unlikely that anybody will win outright in May. The election is May 15th. Ballots go out the end of April. We'll hope to be in the top two in May out of those 23 folks. And to do that, we'll talk to as many voters as we can. I think demonstrate that we have the closest connection to the city, the deepest commitment to the city, and then leave the rest will be in the hands of God and democracy.
Schools, obviously, very important. Recently, you were endorsed by the Portland Association of Teachers. What does that mean to you?
It means a tremendous amount. I think I'm a product of Portland Public Schools. I went to graduate from Grant about the same time that both your sons were graduating. Two of your sons were graduating from Lincoln. Having a commitment to our public education system, a commitment to educational competitiveness is deeply important to the city and to the state, and an important theme that we're talking about in the race.
What gives you the experience, Jefferson, to run a city of the size of Portland with its $3.5 billion budget?
I think we have a few. I think our campaign, that I have a few strengths. Among the candidates in the race, I'm actually the candidate who has started and run an organization that grew to a seven-figure growing concern with affiliated headquarters in 4 states, and had not only as an investor, as a VP, but as the P, and had to hire and fire staff, manage budgets, set and meet objectives. Also, sitting and serving in the legislature, not only elected and reelected the House, but elected and reelected House leadership by my colleagues, and serving on the budget subcommittee that oversees the budgets of the governor's office, Secretary of State's office, and Treasurer's office. I have experience with budgets. I've served on the governor's transition team. I have some idea of what it takes to build strong executive offices. And I think the combination of experiences and having this be my hometown and wanting to make it better, I think I'm best suited.
What is the largest single problem facing City Hall, and how would you solve it?
Making the city work better for more people. Break that into a few parts. That's getting people working, that's getting the city working better, and that's getting it working for more people. And that combination is the biggest challenge ahead of us.
What about, I saw earlier a report about you wanting to get rid of middle management within city government, reprioritizing the money spent and so forth.
Yeah, I carried a bill on the House floor, House Bill 2020, that set a ratio of 11 staff to 1 manager for large state agencies. Right now, according to the city auditor, in Portland, that ratio is 6 to 1. I'm not saying it ought to be 11 to 1, but I do think there's at least some bronze in them hills. I think there are some ways that we can prioritize frontline services and service delivery as we face budget cuts and look to trim bureaucracy.
I don't think I've talked to a candidate or heard from one at any level who didn't talk about, as you just did, the importance of creating jobs. How do you do that? I mean, it's easy to say, but how is it done?
Yeah, I think too often politicians overstate the case of their own importance and fail to be particularly clear about what they mean when they talk about job creation. I think that the most important thing, although we all run on job, schools, and healthcare, the most important thing that any elected leader, that any public executive does, is make the enterprise of government run well. That's the most important thing. But make sure this is a nice place to live, that it's safe, that it has roads, places to get to places. I do think there are some things we can do around infrastructure, not only built space, but also making sure that our broadband infrastructure is good, making sure that it is a livable community, making sure our workforce development is strong, which is why education is key, not only the traditionally conceived of K-12 education, but also workforce and technical education. And other things we can do are catalyze things, not only recruiting industry, which takes a lot of sort of attention in political conversation, but making sure we're recruiting talent doing not only economic hunting but economic gardening, and by that I mean helping homegrown businesses find new customers and find new markets. They've done this successfully in Littleton, Colorado, and Detroit. They're putting a bunch of commitment to rebuilding that economy, and we can do that better here, helping homegrown businesses grow through capital access, CEO mentorship, and advanced market research, working with higher education to help homegrown companies get new customers and new markets.
Wow, I guess you have thought about this.
I've thought about it a lot, man. It's critical importance.
Jefferson, thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, man. Hope you all are well.